Playing from iPhone.
Oh shit. I gotta... Alexa, disconnect from iPhone.
Now disconnected from iPhone.
Let me share this out. Welcome in. Happy Friday. 1 second. Let me just share this. I just wanted to come live and do a little energy update. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this 28-day mental detox that I've been doing for those that have been doing it along with me. Just a couple notes that kind of came up over the past week. And then before I do that though, I'm going to pull some cards for the collective, and then after I'm done, I'll do some card pulls for you guys if you would like. All I'm going to ask in return is that you are, subscribed to my YouTube channel, which is linked in my bio. What's up, Steve Tin Man? What it do? It's been a minute, dude. How's it going? So for those that don't know, and I am on 2 platforms right now, so if you see me looking over here, over there, I'm gonna try my best to keep up with both screens. What up, Emma? Good evening, 5 of Heart. Welcome in, welcome in. So I'm just gonna, we're gonna do a collective reading tonight, and we're gonna see what comes up, and then I'm just gonna talk a little bit about some notes that had come up. For those that aren't aware of the 28-day mental detox, it's something that I've been doing for a few years now. It's really been helpful for me to help reprogram my subconscious mind and become more aware of my thoughts, right? Because we know that thoughts manifest things. Our inner experience is a direct reflection of what takes place in your physical reality. So it's really important to become observer of your thoughts and be aware when you are sabotaging yourself, and also be able to manifest some dope shit on purpose, right? Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for the beautiful hearts you're throwing on the screen. I appreciate you guys. If you want to share this video, if you think you know somebody that might find it beneficial, I definitely appreciate it. And then when I'm done with the reading, and I don't have many notes, just a couple things that came up that I thought might be beneficial, even if you haven't been doing the 28-day mental detox. It's just a couple things to like get you thinking about, you know, where you're at mentally. For those that don't know, I am a certified hypnotherapist. I also work with a lot of energy healing, and then I read tarot, of course, on the side. So I'm really passionate about reprogramming the subconscious mind. It's changed my complete entire life, and I feel like we should be taught about this shit, and it's just really important that we learn to take our power back. Yeah. So welcome in. I hope everybody's having a good night. Let's just get started with a collective reading. So if you're joining this video, my intention are that there will be a message in here for you. If you could participate in the law of equal energy exchange and just continue tapping the screen and sharing the videos out, I definitely appreciate it. And it kind of helps to stay or like to add your energy into the reading, okay? All right, everybody could take a deep breath, connect in. Feel free to drop a comment. Let me know where you're connecting in from. Where's your point of light beaming in from? Oh, collective messages, please. What messages does the collective need to know? I feel like this eclipse energy that we're in, as well as the spring equinox that we just came into recently, is really, it's just a really great time to work on reprogramming the subconscious mind or gaining your power back, because as we navigate through our thoughts, a big part of what we're doing is we're writing down characteristics about ourselves, right? So in the day 1 and day 2 video, I talked about how, if you, it's a perfect time to like go over your goals, to look at, if you have notes written down of what you want to accomplish. If you don't already, then it's a perfect time to do so. If you think about spring, it's a perfect time to plant seeds, and this goes for mental projects as well, right? It's a perfect time to plant some new thoughts. Let's see. I feel like there's been this beautiful multi-dimensional energy that more and more people are picking up on. It's this third language that spirit moves in, right? It moves in metaphor, and more people are raising their consciousness and picking up on these types of things, as well as like signs, synchronicities, messages from like past lives, from ancestors. A lot of people I know are connecting in with their ancestors that have transitioned over, gaining increase in your gifts like telepathy and clairvoyance, all the clairs really, just becoming more intuitive in general. So the first card that we have pulled out here for the collective is the 7th chakra, which in this deck represents Archangel Uriel, sorry. And she speaks of the 7th chakra, which is at the crown of our head. It's our doorway to spirit. And then it's funny that's exactly what it is, because the second card is literally door to spirit. So it's this activation of the crown, right? That violet ray. Some of you may recently have like felt your crown literally opening, expanding, feeling kind of tingly. Usually that's it. I mean, from my understanding, from my experience, it's probably an indicator that your crown is being activated, or that you're receiving some kind of messages, downloads, activations straight from spirit, your higher self. Again, lots of gifts opening up. There's people that are just getting on the other side of some kind of storm. Like, I feel like this is an energy where you're like coming to terms, or you've come to peace about something. Letting go of hostilities, letting go of all that negative ass energy. Like, there's realizations here that you don't need that shit, right? Like, it's just not worth your time. It's not worth your energy. Letting go of people, places, and things, and ideas, of course, that just no longer resonate. And in that process, meeting up with or meeting people that are more like-minded, and it's all energy, right? As you raise your consciousness, you raise your vibration. As you raise your vibration, you magnetize in people that are of like vibration. So it makes sense that as you continue to release these people, places, things, that these higher vibrational people, places, and things will come in. And I feel like many are being guided on this this timeline of divine purpose, or life purpose energy. There's many star seeds that are awakening, and having these memories about galactic family and ancestral like timelines where you were literally like maybe another species, or from a different planet. And there's many that are said to be from different planets that are on Earth at this time to plant new seeds for higher states, right? Earth is evolving its density and our consciousness, and in order for to make sure that we stay on track, it said that other species or other planets kind of came together with this plan to help the Earth shift its consciousness. So many are coming to the agreement that maybe in a past life they weren't from Earth, right? And this is why many might feel like they're not from here, or like they were always the black sheep, or like people just didn't understand them. And it's just kind of funny how all of these types are now coming together with these, and it's only through meditation and through raising your consciousness that you come to this understanding. It's like it's that download that we were talking about, right? They get this download, and it's happened to me, where you might see visions in meditation that will remind you of who you are, or just memories. Some people, depending on what your gifts are, you're going to receive it in a different way, but it's a very experiential. You can't tell anybody that's had this experience that they're wrong, because they've seen it firsthand. They witnessed it, right? They received the downloads, the information to know, right? So I feel like more and more star seeds are being activated at this time, and it's really beautiful, because if you look at what the star seeds are doing, and I have had like these understandings, or so my understanding is that I'm from one of the lifetimes that I lived in the past, and I haven't shared this very often. I don't know why I'm even going on this tangent, but whatever. So I started seeing lions in meditation a lot. Like this one time I saw a lion cub. This was at the beginning of my journey. And then a couple weeks later, I saw, it was a lion with a blue background, like a neon background. And then I had an astral experience where I was able to come out of body, and I heard this noise up above my house. And so I had been trying for weeks to actually like get through my roof, and I might be losing a lot of people here if you're not aware of what astral projection is, but I'm gonna go with the tangent because maybe it could help some people. So I had been trying for weeks to actually like get, like, you can go through shit. It's a dream state where you can, if you can put your body to sleep, you can come out of your body with your consciousness. Okay, so I remember the first time I had this vision of this light that had come through my bedroom, and I was in my bed. It was nighttime, and I was staying real still, trying to keep my body asleep so I could come out of body and go through my roof, because I had been seeing all this crazy shit happening in the stars, in the sky. And so I see this light come through my room, and right away I remember thinking, that's my ancestors. That's I don't it's just this weird familiar knowingness, right? So that time I wasn't able to do it, because what happened was my son had been sleeping next to me that day, and I got out of my body and I was jumping on my bed, and I remember looking down thinking, shit, I'm gonna jump on him. And as soon as I said that, I went right back in body. But the very next day, it happened again, and I was able to go through the roof this time. And I know this shit sounds crazy. It's so dope, though. If you can master your mind, it's amazing. You can go anywhere. But anyway, so to get to the point, there was this ship above my house, right? And so I fly up there and I look in the window, and in the window is this lion being and her cub sitting right next to her, and she's driving the ship. And I look and I make eye contact with her and I wave, and I swear to God, she looks right back at me, smile, and then I went right back in the body. But that week I had this experience with my crown opening, and I got these flashes, these insights of this knowingness that the Lyrian beings are connected to me. I am, maybe, I don't know how to explain it completely. Like, maybe it's a time thing. I don't know. It's a dimensional thing. All I know is I definitely somehow am attached to those beings. Okay. So many people are having these understandings, and that's why I'm putting it out there, so that, because I know some people will start to have these experiences, then they're not really sure what the freak is going on. But that's what Spirit wants you to know. There are downloads that are coming in for those that are ready, so that you can have these realizations around your ancestral lineages. You can have remembrances of why you came, what your purpose is here. And, you know, if you choose to, right, because we have free will, you can get some major gifts activated at this time. Some of us are here to leave a legacy, right? We're here to bring heaven and peace to earth. That's the gist of it. Is it going to happen in our timeline or our lifetime? Maybe not, but that's what we're setting up the show for. Okay, we are, if you think about it, once all of us heal, right? Once all of us heal all of this shit, this ancestral trauma that we have stored in our bodies, imagine what that will look like, right? And yeah, it might take a while, but that's what's being activated right now. So if you're having remembrances, or if you have like just, you might get like goosebumps, or like that fuzzy butterfly feeling around certain topics, around you know, certain synchronicities or happenings, follow them, because Spirit's trying to show you something. Spirit moves in this multi-dimensional, beautiful, perfect divine language. And yeah, Michelle said, my chakra's been open since a child, but don't know much how to use it. With your intention, just sit with it and invite it to open. And it opens through surrender. It opens through letting go. Okay, that's why meditation is so important. That's why I speak on meditation so much, because it's through that quiet state that Spirit can flow. It's not when you have all of these worries and anxieties and fears and all of this shit going on, then you're not leaving any space for Spirit to really move through you. But there's the invitation that is being offered at this time for those that have been doing the work, and for those that have been called, if you will. If you're in my life, then it's probably you. So yeah, I just invite you to, first of all, I would definitely invite you to do the 28-day mental detox, or even, you know, just a few days. It's the practice of becoming more observant of the mind space that counts, that helps. All right, so I'm just gonna touch in on these notes that I had. It's not a lot. I just had a couple of things throughout the week. I started last week the mental detox, and already I'm seeing so many like beautiful gifts start to open up. I can tell that Spirit is like, it's really hard to explain, but I can, like, in everything that I'm doing, as when I'm in flow state, everything that I'm doing is lining up with perfect divine synchronicity and showing me these beautiful understandings about myself. And so one thing that came up is that you could do is to set an intention to learn something new about yourself, and then write about it. And then I'd invite you to share about it as well. I have some groups on Facebook that I always invite, you know, fellow like-minded souls to share any information or activations or any of this type of you know, journaling activities or anything else. And the name is the same as my name here on TikTok, if you would care to look that up. It could be, so learning something new about yourself. It could be like about your mindset. It could be about an attitude that you might have, or even just setting intentions to learn about your attitudes, right? Do you ever think about what attitudes you carry, and are they in alignment with what attitudes you actually want to hold? The more that you become observant of them, the more you'll be able to shift attitudes that maybe you don't even really care to have with newer attitudes. Thank you for all those beautiful gifts and hearts. I appreciate you guys. It might be where you learn that you were wearing a mask about something to a certain people, or were holding some kind of facade, or holding a belief of something you don't even really believe in anymore, right? Those programmed habitual ways of thinking will start surfacing. You might learn something new about, one of your characteristics, or you might, want to write about some new characteristics or moods that you want to implement in your life. Maybe you can, hey Sarah, think about some people that you admire that have what you want, and look at, how they got there. Write it down. When you're writing down, you're in connection with your ideomotor response. It's a direct line to your subconscious. That's why people will, you'll find that people, and usually it's really clear, like right after waking up or right before going to bed, because you're in that kind of in-between state and your subconscious is very active at that time. You'll notice like a lot of authors will say that they were able to like write a whole book, in one sitting, because the information just starts flowing. It's important, I think, that we journal about it, when we're having these experiences. It's important to navigate through our inner realms and really get out on paper so that we can look back at and reflect upon what it is that we want. And then you can see, if there is something that you notice about yourself that maybe you don't like, maybe you have an attitude or a facade or whatever that you want to adjust, you could figure out where it came from. Maybe it'll just kind of come to you where you can pinpoint, oh shit, maybe I have that abandonment issue because I remember that one time when my mom was going to work and I really didn't want her to go, or whatever, right? It's like, if you can pinpoint it. If you can't, it doesn't even matter. And honestly, it's just noticing it, that you don't want it to be there anymore. It's in that reflection right there that will allow it to shift, right? Because then every time you're in that attitude or facade, you'll recognize it and be able to observe it, and there will be kind of like a little ding, like, wait, that's not it, we don't want that anymore. And then you can trade it out, chop it out for what you actually do want. Some of this shit might come back to childhood, to school, to past lives even. Sometimes you won't even be able to know. And again, it doesn't matter, really. I mean, sometimes it's cool if you can pinpoint it, because then you'll be able to understand kind of where it came from. However, it doesn't really matter. It's just recognizing that it's there and that you want to shift it, having that little self-dialogue, that inner talk back and forth. And then, once it comes up, you'll be able to understand, maybe you want to write down 10 things about yourself, 10 of your characteristics, and then just look at each one of them and identify, is this helping me or is this hindering me? Before I typed my question, you answered it. That's that telepathy, girl. I'm telling you, gifts are being expanded. It's insane. Like, it's really good. Okay. If it's hindering you, if it's helping you, then how so? If it's hindering you, I said, what can you do to shift this out? You might want to look at what the opposite polarity is, right? Like, if it's anxiety, the opposite, what would be peace, right? So you could do a little mind movie, like I like to call it, where you just sit and daydream for a few moments or minutes or for however long. This is something that I do to manifest really often. It's just kind of play scenes in my mind. And so you can see yourself in that new polarity. So if it's anxiety, maybe you're seeing yourself in situations that are really peaceful, because we're creatures of habit, and the more that we do something, the more they will come to be. So if you want peacefulness, see yourself in that peaceful place, or in a peaceful place, and that'll be kind of, you can use that kind of as an anchor for when that anxiety comes up. You're reminded to go back to that peaceful place, and pretty soon that becomes your new habit. Thank you for the roses. I'm actually reading some notes that I had for the 28-day mental detox. I did pull a few cards, and I'll pull some more when I'm done, okay? I just have one more page that just stuff that came up, and I was just guided to share it with you guys because it's been shit that's really helped me. So if I can help, you know, even one person, then I'm about that life. Yeah, so another thing I wrote, you can, you know, write 10 things that you love about yourself, set an intention to learn something about yourself, write about it. Another thing that I saw in, I watch yoga with Cassandra every morning, and she is doing this challenge, and one of her, it's like a mind-body challenge. One of them was to give somebody that you don't like a genuine compliment. And I feel like this is really important because the important part of this is genuine, right? And it's that understanding, and for those that have like done some of the spiritual work, you know, it's really important to see the God in everyone. So and for that reason, and also in finding things that you do like about people that maybe usually bug you or that you don't really care for, will help you to find okay, because spirit moves in metaphor, you know, vibration moves in metaphor. So the more metaphors that you can implement into your life that speak to what you want. Okay, so if you're looking for something positive in somebody else that you wouldn't normally find, you're seeking for positive things. So what does that say metaphorically to, you know, your mind, body, soul connection? You're looking for more positive attributes. You're looking for the God in everyone, and therefore you're inspiring the God within you. Hopefully that made sense. And then the last little thing that came through was about breaking through fears. And yeah, breaking through fears. And fears are really just false evidence appearing real, right? It's we give them so much credit in our mind, but the more that you become observant of your mind, and maybe some of you guys are experiencing this past week, I know it's been really coming up where I've been able to identify some of my fears that I've been dwelling on for a while, not really even realizing that I was dwelling upon them. Like, well, I don't really want to talk about what it was specifically, but you might find that you're able to identify those fear patterns a little bit easier at this time. Sarah said, yes, I was speaking. It's like reading between the lines. I was speaking to the girl's granddad's partner who had passed away this evening. Crazy. Yeah. Girl, gifts are being activated. It's so amazing. It's a much needed push of momentum, that's for sure. Because for a while there, I was feeling just like, I don't want to say drained, but for a while there, it was like, you know, it's the roller coaster though. It goes up and down. And let's see, real quick here. So you'll be able to recognize when fears come up and choose to have a new response. Once you identify the fear, it kind of loses its grip. Okay, so you can pull in love when you realize it. Make sure that you're not too hard on yourself. That's one thing that I had combated with for a while is, you know, because I am so conscious of my mind, when I had this realization that this was just a fear that had been bugging me so much, right? Because sometimes we don't realize it. It's just, you know, on our mind, something happened and it's, you know, weighing on us. When we realize that it's just fear, and that maybe you want to look at, like, what's the worst that could happen, right? And once you face that fear, and kind of come to peace with it. And that's what kind of came out in the reading too. It's like coming to peace with something that maybe had been weighing on you, or, you know, making you feel some type of way. Once you face it, then you can choose a new outcome, right? So the realization is, shit, if I'm dwelling on this fear, I'm giving so much of my attention to this fear, and it's not the thought, but it's the dwelling upon the thought, like I talked about in the day 1 and day 2 video. Once you face that fear, then you can choose a new outcome. And this is why it's really important to journal about all this shit. And then look at what's the desired. Okay, so you've already probably looked at the worst case scenario. Now can you look at the best case scenario? Can you look at the actual solution, or what you actually want, and give that just as much energy, if not double, right? Double the amount of energy than you gave to that. Because remember, we're magnetic beings. We're magnetizing to us our thoughts. Thoughts have energy, they're vibration. And we want to at least give double our attention than what we did to that fear, to the opposite result, or to the desired end result. Yeah. Pretty self-explanatory. And then one thing that I like to do when I'm contemplating on that desired end result is I like to really go into detail. I like to, you know, think about what else could happen as a result of that. Can you hear me? I know I had a call in, and sometimes it screws up. I am going to have to call them back anyway, and I think I'm about done with the notes. Yeah, the end of it was just, you know, what's the best that could happen, and what else might stem off of that, and give that a little bit of your thought, energy, your vibe. For me, at least personally, I find that when I go into these scenarios and, okay, so this is my desired outcome, and okay, so after I get that brand new SUV, maybe I might go get some ice cream. Maybe after I get that brand new SUV, I go pick up my daughter, or, you know, just all of these kind of branches off of that desired end result that you actually wanted. Hopefully that made sense. All right, so I'm going to call back my father-in-law. I want to make sure he's okay. Yes, I've been doing tests with what I've been being shown, what I think I believe, what I want to believe, and what I don't want to believe. Yes, exactly. Right, so you're being shown your fears, right? You know, it's so beautiful, so beautiful. I'm going to be back on TikTok. I'll share the live over on Facebook as well, and I'll come back and do some readings after I make these phone calls. All right, love you guys. Thanks for hanging out.